Hi there, today we're unboxing a gimbal. So this particular one is by a company called SIRUI and it's the Swift M1 model. Details in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. So a gimbal is a product that helps you stabilize your video recordings as you're recording. So this particular gimbal is for a mobile, as you can see by the picture here. So let's take a look around the packaging. So it comes nicely packaged with an image of the actual gimbal, shows it even has a stand on there, and a mobile phone that can be mounted into there. Okay, coming around here, SIRUI capturing your imagination, social media links here. Coming around this way, shows the actual gimbal folded up. So that's one of the advantages of this one, which I really like, the fact that you can fold it up. Gimbals can be bulky products and it's nice just to be able to fold it away and store it. So picture of the gimbal expanded out, coming around here, more pictures of the actual gimbal, and that's it. So let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. Okay, so initially instruction manuals come in the package, and coming in close on that, got some details of how to set this up and use the gimbal. Looks pretty straightforward. Even got a QR code in there for the app you need to install to use with the gimbal. Half of the instructions are in English and the other half are in Chinese. Okay, so next you've got the case that comes in there. So this is the case obviously containing the gimbal, just showing foam finish on there. Nice protective case, and it can be reused. Obviously when you're going out and about, you could take the whole case with the devices in there, and opening it up, this is what you're initially presented with. So there's a bit of plastic here, so you can use it as a normal case to carry this around. Okay, as well as that, in here you've got a stand, and this stand obviously attaches to the gimbal to allow it to stand in place. And just to give you the sizing on there, so got my ruler here, comes in at around 7.5 centimeters in height, and the legs alone are 6.5. Build quality feels good on there, and if we come around the bottom, you've got some rubber stands on there to avoid it slipping on a surface. Okay, next you've got a USB to micro USB cable here for charging purposes. Short cable here, build quality feels good on there, and if I get my ruler again, cable comes in at 30 centimeters. Okay, next, looks like we've got a carry case with this. If I open that up, just to show, nice small carry case, plasticky feel on there, and a string to tighten it. Got some silica gel, and then the actual gimbal. So looking at the size of this, very nice and compact, and as you can see, easily held in your hand. So if I get my ruler to show the size of it, so height wise, we're talking at maximum to minimum about 22 centimeters, and width wise about 11 centimeters. So very nice compact design. Okay, so next, let's actually take the gimbal and unfold it. So setup instructions are here on the case, very straightforward. If I bring the gimbal around this way, it's locked in this position, and if I move this slider across, it unlocks it. So the next thing we want to do is just push it down, and there you go. That's the first part. The next part is here. So it's actually locked at this point. So it's actually showing if I push it down, it'll unlock it, and there you go, unlock now. And there you go, that's how it initially is once you've unfolded it. Now, in terms of actually construction of build, so the main case down here, all plasticky, and if we come around here, there's some rubber strips on there, so one on this side, one on the back, one on the other side as well. In terms of functionality, you've got a dial wheel there, you've got a stick here for controlling it, and you've got some buttons and some trigger buttons here. Okay. If we come upwards now, the rest of the construction here, the arms on the gimbal, they're actually all plasticky, and the clamp for holding the phone is plastic. It's a very strong plastic on here, and if I pull it apart, it gives a very strong grip. So rubber along the edges to avoid any sort of damage to your mobile, and rubber to obviously hold it tightly in place as well. Okay, just a note, on the side of the gimbal you've got a charging point, so this is where the micro USB cable gets plugged in. Okay, so next let's put the stand on here. It's very straightforward, just screws straight on, and if I expand it out, and there you go, Okay, so now the gimbal's set up, we're actually ready to put our mobile in there. So I've got my mobile here. Let's slot it in so I can just pull the arm up here and then place it in position, just ensuring it rests at the bottom and at the side so there's firm grip on there. Now, as you notice, it's flopping down and the correct position for the phone is like this. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the gimbal. So if I now bring it in close just to show, I hold on to the button there, the power button. Screen comes on, so there's even a screen here. And there you go. So first issue here, it's flopping down. And now to get this resolved, so obviously the phone needs to be in this position. If I turn the gimbal like so, there's actually an adjusting point here. So if I loosen that, you'll see I can get it in position. There you go. Pretty cool. So now, once it's fairly level, let's just pull it out a little bit. So that's no good. Let's bring it in a bit more. That looks good. So if I just tighten it here now, so fully tightened at the back. And there you go, perfect. Now, the axis here moves, the axis here moves, and here moves. And that ensures the camera is always stable. So if I show, there you go. How impressive is that? So as you're walking along and there's movement, it will try and keep the phone as stable as possible to give your videos that extra quality feel. So more of a smooth flow as you're recording. So very impressive. And as you see, pretty cool. It just flips over the arm there. Let me go this way. There you go. Okay, so you've seen one mount position where the phone's like this, sideways on there, but there is also another mount position. So if I take hold of the clamp and gently turn, it actually turns round. So in this scenario, we take our phone, place it in position, like so, and then if I now hold on to the button for power, there you go, it's turned on, and there you go. Similar thing again, you would just adjust this accordingly. So you see, if I pull it out, push it in now, just get it to a position where it's nice and stable, and again, the adjustment is available. Obviously dependent on the size of the phone, but you may get a subtle touch just to show. Touches there. There you go. But again, very nice that it's usable in both positions. Okay, so now my mobile's attached to the gimbal. Let me come in close on the display. And what you'll notice, there's actually a Bluetooth icon flashing. Together with that, you've got the battery indicator there. But the significance of the Bluetooth indicator is that they've actually got an app that you can install on your mobile and have additional functionality running with the gimbal. So next, let's install that. So pretty straightforward. If I go to the instructions, you've got download the Sirus Swift app. So QR codes available just there. So let's scan that in and get the app installed. Okay, so let's make a start at setting up the app. So I'm at my Android phone here. If I click on QR barcode scanner and get the instructions here and just scan in the code. There you go, and this is what you're presented with. So if I now click on the link, and this is their website where all their apps on there, and the one we want is just here, so Sirius Swift. So if we just click here, there you go, and now we've got a download option. Let's click on that. Okay, and so the APK has downloaded. You can actually install this off the Play Store, so they will have it on the Play Store soon, but let me go through exactly how it's shown in the instructions. So now if I click here and we go to package installer just once, okay, just got to change security settings to allow this to install. Okay, and we'll just click install. Let's give it a moment. Okay, so there you go, app's installed. Let's click open. And now it's asking to turn on Bluetooth, so let's click allow. Okay, it needs access to device's location. Let's click allow to that. Okay, so it needs access to take pictures and record video. Click allow to that as well. and record audio as well. Click allow, access photos and media on the device, and manage and make phone calls. Okay, so now the app's ready to go. We can grab our gimbal, put our phone in there, turn the power on the gimbal, and there you go. So it's attempting to connect to the gimbal now, and if we click to activate camera app. So there you go, as simple as that to get the app on your phone and connecting to the gimbal. So no hassles, download it, install it, and then via Bluetooth, it just connects directly to the gimbal. Okay, so now the app's set up and configured. Let me show you around it. So if I go to settings here, you've got an option, the first one being allow the gimbal to function while charging. So very useful functionality here. Obviously, if you're on the go and you're doing a recording, gimbal's low on battery, what do you do? Just stop? No, you can just continue using it. Just plug in a cable from a power bank directly into the gimbal and it will keep you going. Okay, next one is reverse tilting motion. So reverse is the actual tilt on there, so you can go the other way around. Gyro calibration, so this allows you to calibrate the gimbal. Okay, next you've got the firmware version, so current firmware version, current hardware version, current Bluetooth version, and current version of the APK which you've installed, which is the app itself. Okay, next if I click just here, we've got camera settings, so auxiliary line. And if I click on there, so this allows you to display a grid on the screen. So if you're filming or you're taking pictures and you want to ensure certain areas are level, etc., these are the sort of options you have available. So initially you've got square. So if I click on that, go back, click back on the camera, and there you go, you see squares. And then if I go back in, click on square and diagonal, that's what's displayed then. And if we go back in again and click on center point, and let me see if I can just position it. And there you go, you can just work out a center point on there. Okay, so next, if I go back in, let's take those options off. So it's just a clear screen. And then you've got flash. So if I click on there, you can see off, on, and auto. So at the moment it's on auto. Clicking back on, then you've got video resolutions. If I go on there, so 1080p on my current phone. So just to note, if you had something that could handle 4K, that would obviously be displayed on there. So very useful. Again, you can flip between it. And again, the options available here, you're not messing around with the actual camera on the phone itself. Okay, coming back, then you've got film camera. The SIRUI 33mm anamorphic lens is required to use. Okay, so this is enabled if you had the anamorphic lens from SIRUI. Okay, next, if I click down here, you've got like a beauty face option on there. So if I turn it off, okay, and if I turn it on again, softens the image slightly there. Okay, next, if I click down here, you've got some filters. Okay, so let me run you through the filters you have available on this. So, fairy tale, sunrise, sunset, white cat, let's go down, black cat, skin whiten, healthy, sweets, romance, sakura, warm, antique, nostalgia, calm, latte, tender, quite a number. So let's see, cool, emerald, evergreen, crayon, pretty cool, sketch, that's quite impressive, Amaro, Brannan, Brooklyn, early bird, some nice filters here, Freud, Hefe, Hudson, Inkwell, Kevin, 1977, oh that's quite cool, Nashville, Pixar, Rise, Sierra, Sutro, Toaster 2, Valencia, Walden, and Xprol. So nice selection there. Let's go back to the original one. Okay, and that's all the filters. Now going here, home. So obviously that takes you back to the beginning of the actual app. let's let it connect back in again. Okay, next, if we look on the other side, you've got an indicator for Bluetooth being on. Then if I click here at the side, it shows the photos you've taken with the app. Okay, next you've got an option to flip the camera around. So it's in rear camera mode at the moment. If I click it, it will go to front camera. There you go. Click it again, comes back again. Okay, and then you've got a button to actually take pictures or record video. So it's in recording video mode at the moment. So if I do click it from here, there you go, it starts recording. I can click it again, turns off. And if we just skip to the bottom bit here, you can actually skip to allow you to just take a photo. So now it's in photo mode. So if I click it, there you go, taking photos, saving the image. Let's go back to video. And then if you just look below that, there's a video mode. So a number of options here. Quite interesting what you've got. So you've got automatic at the moment, which is just normal settings. Next, if I click here, you've got Hitchcock settings. So zoom direction, zoom down. And if I click here, and if I click there, zoom up. So you can actually have it recording in a mode where it zooms in and zooms out again. So let's try it out. So for zoom down, if I now click record, and it's zoomed in and it's coming out. Okay, if I click back on there, zoom up, and this will zoom into an object. Okay, so next we've got, if I click on there, motion lap shot. So this is quite an interesting one. So you can set multiple options for a shot and it will just pan along those points and come back again. So you've got a gimbal speed here and time interval of 15 seconds. So let's try this out. So if I adjust it now, let's get a shot just up here. And then if I get another shot just down there, and now we hit record. So it goes to the first one. And there you go. It just slowly pans back to the other one and then it will just stop. So let's give it a moment. There you go. Very impressive. So obviously it's shot the panning from one end to another. Now if I now click back on there, let's go for the next one. So the next one is a time-lapse shot. So you can set timing on this. So let's leave it at 15 seconds for now. And if I go up to the clouds and let's hit record. Let's give it a moment. Okay, so on the gimbal, we've got a function key just here. So if I click that, and if you now look onto the screen on the phone, what you'll notice is there's actually a menu option that's appeared. The menu system lets you quickly access the options you have available. So to actually access the option, you just double click the function button. So if I click it now, there you go, it's flipped to the front camera. And if I flip back, it's gone to the rear camera. If I click it once again, it appears. And now if I use the wheel dial at the side, you can actually go through the options and flip between the different options. So let me run you through the options you have available. So front rear camera switch, then you've got video image switch. That's the switch between recording and taking pictures. Then you've got flash on, flash off, beauty mode, beauty filters, face track, object track, pano shot. So that's a panoramic shot, 90 degrees, 180 degrees panoramic shot, 360 degree panoramic shot, 3x3 panoramic shot, and Sudoku mode 1 and Sudoku mode 2, Hitchcock zoom, time-lapse shot, and path-lapse shot. So excellent functionality there. You're not messing around, clicking on your phone when you're out and about. You can just control it all from the gimbal. So the app, in terms of functionality, is very granular and there's a lot of options available within it. So very impressive. Okay, so the app is set on 90 degrees panoramic. So if we now take a picture, there you go, so it's composing the panoramic picture now. And there you go. So you've got different filters on there, so dusk, dim, sunset, wave, sketch, and shadow. And if we go back to original, we can just do a save. Let's do the 180 now. Okay, so it's composing the picture. Just give it a moment. And there you go, 180 on that. Same filters at the bottom again. Let's click save. Let's do the 360 now. Okay, so it's composing the picture now. Let's give it a moment. Finally, let's go to the 3x3, and if I click okay, so there you go, extra wide picture, all the filters at the bottom, so dusk, dim, sunset, wave, sketch, and shadow. Excellent. So hit save on that, and if we click back on there, then got Sudoku, so 9 photos. If I click that, let's see what happens. There you go, so it's taken 9 pictures in succession, and then you've got grid lines. Do that one. There you go, images saved. Okay, so the next bit of functionality to show is the brightness on here. So if I touch the screen, you have a brightness option appear, and you can adjust the brightness on the screen. I'll take it up to maximum just to show. I'll take it down to minimum now. There you go. And following that, you've got tracking options. If I click on that, and if I now move it, it will just stay focused on that option. So nice bit of functionality here. The fact you can select an area and it will just stay focused on there no matter how you move the actual gimbal. Okay, and if I click it again, turns it off. Okay, so with this gimbal, you're not actually limited the functionality just on the app. Obviously, you've got some buttons here and the dial wheel at the side. So on the actual buttons here, if we come in here, this is actually the mode switch button, which has the M on there. And at the moment, it's on TL. So that actually stands for tilting following locked. So if I just show it in action, okay, we'll come on to the next mode. If I click it, you'll see the screen change. So at the moment it's TL, and if I press it, it goes to TF, which is tilting following. So let me show that. Very smooth, as you can see, every time it moves. Okay, if I click it again, you can see the display change, and it goes to L, which is locked mode. So if you have something in focus, it will just stay locked on there. Okay, clicking again, it then goes to POV mode. So that's literally in this direction, just stays stuck on there. And let's go back to TL, which is tilting following lock. Okay, so if we look now, next to the TL, you've got an icon here. And if I come in close, that actually represents the wheel dial here. So at the moment, it's set on zooming. So if I move it now, you can see the picture zooming in and then zooming out. Okay, so change the mode, we just click the wheel dial and it changes mode, and this one's focusing. So it will just change your focus on there. Okay, next, if I click it again, you've got panning motion, you've got the P representing that. And again, if you look, you just see it spinning around. So really with this, you just roll the wheel, okay? And if I come in one more time and click it, it goes to tilting. So if I now move it, you can see it's tilting up and down. So going up now. So excellent functionality. You're not limited to just the app itself. You can actually use the options on here. Now, coming around the back of the gimbal, you've got 2 additional trigger buttons on there. And the first one is function 1. And if you hold this down, it activates the panning following mode. So this will help you track the shooting object actively as you pan the gimbal and the phone quickly. And below, you've got the tilting following and locked mode. So as you're going along, you could just quickly hold on to it and it will switch between tilting following and locked modes. And then finally, which is quite useful, if you double click the second button, the function button at the bottom, double click it twice, it just resets all the axes. Okay, looking at the button here with the red dot on there, that's the record button and take picture button. So if I now show the mobile and it's on take a picture mode, and if I press the button, there you go, it takes a picture. And then if I flip over to video and press the button, initiates the record. And once you've completed recording, press it again, it just stops recording. It's an excellent functionality. You don't have to actually touch the record or take picture button on your phone. You can just click the button on the gimbal. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this gimbal. Really impressed by this product. For the actual price point on this one, you're getting a lot for your money. Now, nice that it can even fold away, so easy to carry around. And again, a lot of functionality from the actual controls on the gimbal itself. So there you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details in the description below. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.